What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And today we're going to be talking about Proteus. This is a very interesting old school nostalgia trip as a first person shooter. And the reason why I really like this game, other than it being an FPS, is that it's brutal and it's gory and it's fantastically fun. But overall, what I really want to get to here, I think this game, it's very intricately designed. I love the way how it's utilizing its concept mechanisms and mechanics itself. It plays like a Doom, it plays like a Quake. There are secrets involved. I mean, this is what this game really meets Doom and Quake together. Basically, if they had a baby, it would be Proteus. And the reason why I say this is because it's everything what this game really does. This game is fairly interesting as to why I think when it comes to old school first person shooters, much like that from Unreal, Quake, Doom, or any other first person shooters that you could possibly think of from the previous years and old school nostalgia and gaming as it is or as it was, this game really brings all that back. And what's really cool about this game, though, too, it's like I said, it's everything. This game really utilizes some really cool mechanics of the gunplay style. It's a run and gun, basically. It's nothing, I wouldn't say it's nothing near but perfect of a game, much like from what Doom and Quake did or any other games that provide this type of first person shooter concept design. And what I will say is that this game is it's cool. That's all I can say about it. And so it's like I really think that when it comes to any first person shooters, I really would love to see shooters like this again. When it comes to the old school nostalgia and coming to where today's modern gaming is today, obviously, with FPSs in general. And I think that's where Proteus really falls under line and it's streamlined perfectly. I really love the way how you can switch to different weapons and you can put any, I think you can put some modifications. I haven't really gone too far into the game, but it's so cool. And as you can see here, you can wield certain types of weapons and be that barbaric shoot 'em up bang bang. And that's basically the whole entire premise of this game, obviously, and that's a little bit of a duh. But however, I think Proteus, I feel to me, it feels more like of a Doom and less of a Quake, but there are some Quake aesthetics and concepts to it. But it's more of a Doom than a Quake. And the reason why I say that is because this game is it's pretty fast. I felt like that when it came to playing the original Quake, that game was fast, but not as fast as Doom. I felt like that Doom was always the much faster and more gorier type of experience when it comes to FPSs, even from like the newer Dooms that we've had, like with Doom Eternal and Doom 2016. But I think Proteus really falls under line of what Doom does and where Proteus really excels at. I think Proteus excels very much into the Doom aspect when it comes to the first person shooters. And what I will say, it greatly shows. It really, really does. I mean, other than the fact that, obviously, when it comes to these types of old school games, like we've had remasters of Doom 64 or Quake 2 or Quake. And it's so interesting of how Night Dive was able to utilize a different type of engine to bring some of these old school classics back. And Night Dive did not have anything to do with Proteus, but however, it's helmed by a different company. But this game really utilizes so many different types of aspects and concepts of its first-person shooter mechanics. And that's where this game, it doesn't fail. It's so much fun, and I really want to invest my time more into this game. But however, I really think that this game really it's so good. And another thing, though, too, is that I wouldn't say there's not much of a story to it. I'm sure there is, but with the concept and aspects of this game in general, though, it's typically a normal run and gun shooter, much like Quake and Unreal or Doom, and it has all these aspects and the concepts of those original shooters. And that's where Proteus really shines when it comes to its combat systems. And that is one thing that Proteus really does amazingly well, in my personal opinion. And I really think that when it comes to this game too, is that I love its level design and its structure. It has really good volumetric, not, I wouldn't say volumetric lighting, that's wrong. But it does have some really cool, influential, nostalgia lighting to it. Much like that from what Quake does, or even Unreal maybe a little bit. More so like on Doom, because, you know, back in the day when we had the original Dooms and the Quakes, those had some really much very well lit and shadow design philosophies. And I think that's where Proteus really shines in that type of gameplay aesthetic and concept. It's so good. And I love the enemy variety in this game. I would say the enemy variety in this game is very much similar to what more of a Doom than a Quake. I mean, I would say I think Quake is there is some Quake influence in this game, but it's more Doom influence than Quake. As I previously mentioned, I know I'm going back to this, but that's what I'm saying when it comes to Proteus. It shines more when it comes to the Doom concept and its aesthetics rather than Quake. But other than that, you know, you do have health pickups, you do have armor pickups, much like what Doom or Quake or Quake 2 does. There is some Quake 2 aspects in this game, but I wouldn't say it has some. It does have a little bit of original Quake aesthetics to it as well, but it has more Quake 2 concepts, more and less of the original Quake, but more a lot of Doom aesthetics and concepts to it as well. So that's what's really cool about this game. But overall, what I will say is that I do highly recommend playing this game. I think that you'll have so much fun with this game. It's a really good title. Whether if you're on PC or on console, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I mean, I know that when it comes to PC, you were able to do better FPS, which is frames per second. You know, other than the 30 frames per second, you're able to get 60 frames per second out of most of your games on PC, which is cool. But overall, I still think that it's still a good fit on consoles and on PC, and I do highly advise, like I said before, to play this game. But anyway, so much further ado, this is Jake from Citizen JV. Thank you for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. If any comments or questions, please feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to reply back if and whenever possible. And you guys have a good rest of your week.